Hello everyone, welcome back to the Redstone Junkyard. It's been a while since we've been in here. It's been a while since I've done a video in here, but I wanted to show you something really quick and cool that I thought I could show off. It's a parkour checkpoint system using just a few command blocks. These three up here are optional, they're just for a cool particle effect. So let me quickly show you it in action. So our checkpoint block is every time we land on a gold block. Everything else is not a checkpoint. So if I can make this, yes. Let's say I'm really bad at fence parkour and I miss this one and I fall down, I get teleported back to the last gold block that I stood on. Okay, so like I said, there's really only 3 commands here. The other 3 are for the particle animation effect that you see. The first one here just needs to be executed before the player starts running through the parkour course. It's a simple summon command to summon an armor stand. It doesn't matter where you summon it, so I'm just summoning it above the command block. The important part is that we add a tag, and this will be how we identify which armor stand to use in the upcoming 2 commands up here. So we're going to give it a tag of parkour checkpoint. And then for the intro, I made it invisible, but for now, I'm going to actually make it visible to us so we can see what's going on. So there is our armor stand. Now, the basics of what's going on here in the parkour course is we're basically teleporting this armor stand to us every time we are moving or standing on a block of our choice. For our choice here is the gold block, so that is our checkpoint block. Everything else can be whatever we want, so like we can make this block cobblestone and it still won't teleport the armor stand to us, only when we're standing on a checkpoint block. And then the other thing that happens is every time that we fall, we're going to fall down to a different type of block, deepslate here. That's why the floor down here is made out of deepslate, so that when we are standing on a deepslate block, we get teleported to wherever the armor stand was. And so that's happening in these 2 blocks. So let's run through those. So execute at the player if the block underneath me is, again, our checkpoint block. So you can make this whatever block you want. Then we're going to run a teleport the entity. So there's our armor stand with our tag, our parkour checkpoint, to the player, right? So that, again, is for the one for our checkpoint. The second one is for whenever we stand on deepslate. So execute at player if the block underneath me is deepslate. Again, these 2 commands are very similar. Run execute at E, so at the armor stand now with our tag. Can't forget that. Run teleport the player, so we're going to teleport the player to the armor stand in this case. Right, so if we run that, we can start seeing that the armor stand starts rotating. We see the particle effects. That's from these 3 commands. Again, those are in the description. I can look at those too if you want. And then as soon as I start walking over this gold block, the armor stand is going to follow me and continue to spin. And so once I move to a different block, you'll see what it stays behind. So yes, made it. So we can see that in action. And then as soon as I fall down, I am teleported back to where I left off. So yeah, the animation effect that's happening is just a simple teleport command where we're just rotating the armor stand. So we execute at, again, our target selector for our parkour checkpoint armor stand as the armor stand. Run teleport myself to the same XYZ location, and we're just going to rotate on the horizontal plane. And then this one is a particle effect, so execute at the armor stand because we want the particle effect to happen there with our tags as the armor stand. Anchored, so this is a different part of the execute command. So we're going to anchor it to the eyes of the armor stand. That's why the circle is above us and not at the floor. Now we can change this to anchor it at the feet if we want, if you think that's helpful. I found that it sometimes just kind of gets in the way. It's up to you. And then we'll just have the command, the particle command, run particle falling dust, and you can make this whatever color you want based off of what block you use. And then the caret brackets here are for coordinate location based off of direction. So if our armor stand is rotating, it's always going to display this particle in front of where our armor stand is facing. So if I set that to done, you should see one of them go now to the floor right there. That's that one as the armor stand rotates. So then that one's still anchored at the eyes. And that one's the same thing. It's just the difference is here in the location. So again, previously we have this one here, and then here we have a -1, so that's behind the armor stand, wherever it's facing. And then these are just like the rest for like forcing it and the size and the count. I just have those all at 0. So if we wanted, we can change that back to anchored at the feet. Very good. And now they're both at the bottom. And we could change the color again of the particle. And so what this actually also lets us do is, because we're tagging the armor stand, we can use this in a multiplayer system. Okay, so I just added some of the command blocks to show you how this would work in a multiplayer setting. So again, we have our starting command. Now we have one command block for each player. So this armor stand will be tagged with Parkour checkpoint player 1. And then this one's tagged with Parkour player checkpoint 2. And then for each player, we have a repeating command block followed by those chain command blocks. So I've changed the colors of the particles. So particles for player 1 are blue, and the particles for player 2 are red. And so take a look at these commands. So the important thing here is that the tag for the armor stand has changed, and that the target selector for the player has also changed. So if the player is tagged with player 1, so I'm obviously going to have to, for this to work, give myself a tag for player 1. So player 1 is what it is. Target, oh, I think I have that tag already. So I am player 1. So we can see that the player 1 armor stand is following me until I get to the checkpoints. Ooh, wow, I'm so good at parkour. And then if I fall down, it teleports me back to this checkpoint. Now if I do, let me remove player 1. And all of a sudden, if I fall down, nothing happens because I'm no longer player 1. And then if I add player 2 to my to my tag list, now I am player 2. And so this player 2 armor stand will follow me wherever I go. On the block, there we go. And then if I fall down, I'm teleported back to player 2 if I set up the commands correctly. Here it is, the target selector tag. I forgot to change that real quick. Okay, there we go. So if I fall down, now I'm teleported back to player 2. Very cool, fine and dandy. So you can do that for however many players you want. So there you have it. Thanks for watching. Hope you found that useful or interesting and inspired you to make some cool parkour courses. Take care. See you later.